So hi everyone, welcome. It is Thursday night, 7 p.m, which means it's live stream guitar lesson time with the Jam Station. You can book that into your diary every Thursday evening. Today we're looking at the modes and we're back in 4/4 time. Okay, this is a slightly more technical development from last week's lesson in 7/4. So be prepared for a bit of a plectrum workout. But don't worry if you missed last week, you're still able to get a lot from this tutorial, even if you just know your major scale. Now I'm going to start by showing you the full exercise so that you can see what you'll be working through, and that gives you a few seconds to plug in your guitar, boil the kettle, tune up, and be ready for the lesson. I'll then talk you through the main learning objectives. The tab is on Patreon for free, so I've dropped a link in the description so you can download that as well, along with a link to the modal backing track I'm about to play over, so that afterwards you can try this yourself. That is free on Bandcamp. Let's do the exercise. Dorian. Right, so that's the full exercise. So what will you gain from tonight's guitar lesson? Number one, you're going to learn an exercise which will develop your alternate picking and some coordination between the hands. Okay, so some technical development. Number two, you're going to use all 7 modes of the major scale and understand which intervals are changing as you move from mode to mode. So this is increasing your fretboard knowledge and some music theory. We're going to count 16th notes and feel 16th notes, which is a very common rhythm you'll find in almost all genres, so a bit of rhythmic development. So modes. Now, remember from last week, a common way of learning the modes is to consider the modes in one single key. So if we were to play all the modes in the key of E major, we take the notes from E major. So here is this E major scale. We're basically building a scale or a mode from each note contained within. So the first one is E Ionian. That is just another name for E major. If we go from the second note, we have F sharp Dorian. If we go from the third note, G sharp, we have G sharp Phrygian. Okay, you get the idea. Now, all of these scales contain just the notes from the E major scale, so hearing the difference between the different modes and considering which intervals are changing isn't that obvious. So this is why I teach parallel modes. When we look at parallel modes, as we're doing in this series, we view them from a different perspective because we're keeping a root note of E for each scale. Now, although this means that each mode is a different key, and I wouldn't worry too much about that at the moment, it does mean we're able to hear the characteristics and vibe of each mode, because if an interval changes, we hear it. We hear the contrast between the different modes and the effect that it has on the harmony. So I'm just going to demonstrate that to you. I've set up a drone within Logic, and I'm just going to play between 2 or 3 of the modes, okay, so that you can actually hear the effect of the changing scales. So there's that E drone. Hopefully you can hear that. Right, let's start with, say, major scale. It's quite a sweet sound. Okay, it makes the backing track drone sound really sweet as well. Let's change the scale. Let's go to Phrygian. Can I go to something quite different? My root note's still E, but look at how different that sounded straight away. Okay, so by changing that mode, let's do one more. Let's do Mixolydian. Now that kind of sounds almost Irish, quite Celtic. Really sweet, okay? Now, all 3 of those had completely different vibes, so that's why we want to be able to absorb them all and hear the difference between them. Right, so we're going to play all of the modes from a root note of E, which is going to be there at fret 7 on the A string, so we're playing A shape if you know your cage system, okay, or if you've started to touch into that. So that would be the chord which goes around the scale. Right, I'm going to go straight in with major scale because most people will know major scale. We have a root, a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, okay, and then a sixth, seventh octave. All of it intervals and natural. The frets 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 6, 8, 9. Okay? The important note here to worry about is our fourth. Root, second, third, fourth. Okay? And the reason for that is because the first mode we're going to change to is Lydian. And to change to Lydian from the major scale, from Ionian, we're going to move our fourth up to a sharp fourth. Okay? So I'm now going to play the same scale, but instead of the fourth there, I'm going to play a sharp fourth. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now the note we're adding in from last week is this note, the seventh, okay, which is at fret 6 here, D sharp. So last week we stopped at the root note. Here we're going to go up, down, seventh and back, and this brings us back into 4/4. Now I'm going to count 16th notes for this whole session. 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 3 Iana, 4 Iana, 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 3 Iana, 4 Iana, 1. This is the tempo of the backing track. 2, 3 and 4 Iana. Don't if that feels too fast, okay? We're going to talk about metronome soon as well. But for the purposes of the backing track that you're going to download to do this exercise, that is the tempo of it, 72 BPM. Right, the transition. We're going to go from Lydian, what we've just done there. We're going to flatten our fourth and then play the major scale. But we're now going to include the seventh each time. So I'm going to join the two together to demonstrate. Here we go, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Let's go to Ionian now, fourth. Do that twice as well. Right, let's do that to the backing track. 4 E and a Right, that's 2 down. Let's look at the third one. Now our third mode, if you're looking at the tab, is Mixolydian. Okay, so root, second, third, fourth, fifth, the same as the Ionian mode, sixth, but now we want a flat 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7 octave. Now as we plan a flat 7 up here, D, we also need to flatten our 7th beneath, okay? So if I play with the full exercise on Mixolydian there, 1 E and a 2 E, flat 7. You see I've stretched my middle finger back to play the D natural as opposed to the D sharp we had before. So let's loop that a couple of times. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, get that under your fingers. Then let's join them together. So nice and slowly, I'm going to go Lydian with its sharp 4. Then I'm going to do Ionian with its natural 4. And then I'm going to do Mixolydian with the flattened 7th. Here we go to the backing track. 2, 3 and 4 E out. Right, all 3 of those modes contain a major third, G sharp. The remainder of our modes, as you'll have seen last week, contain a minor third. They're all minor modes, and that means rather than having a G sharp there, we're going to have a G natural there. So our first 3 notes will be E, F sharp, G, and you can hear straight away. Okay, that is a sad minor sound. Now G is the note that makes our E minor. Right. Looking at the list, the first of those minor modes is Dorian, E Dorian. Now, again, we're only changing one note when we move from Mixolydian to Dorian, and that is going to be our third. So if Mixolydian was this, with a flattened seventh there, we're going to change that note G sharp to G. Everything else stays the same. Okay, including our flat 7. Now, when we played Mixolydian, our flat 7 was there. Now we're not going to be able to do that now because we're starting with our index finger. We don't want to be sliding down and up, so we're going to play that D on the bottom string there at fret 10. Okay, so I'm going to just play that slowly. Dorian up, and then the flat 7 is going to be there back to root. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. One more, I'm going to loop that twice. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Right, let's join that to Mixolydian. Now watch me do it first. Now you're going to notice that I'm actually going to slide from the flat 7 here into Dorian, okay? Because for that change of position to start with the index finger for Dorian. So Mixolydian starting with the middle finger. Slide the index finger up, and then Dorian to play from there. So although there is only one note difference, we do need to make that position shift. To practice that, what I suggest, if you're still a little bit unsure about Dorian and you're still getting these modes under your fingers, make sure you're confident of Mixolydian and just practice the slide and forget what comes after it, okay? Clear the mind of any sort of stresses or bottlenecks that may be building up and just work on that one particular aspect, which is the change of position. So flat 7, Mixolydian, in. And then you know you're in the position to do it. Let's try that again. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a slide. One more time. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Once you're sure of landing in the right place there, then the performance of Dorian will feel a lot easier. Right, let's try it. Let's do that once and then we'll try the backing track. Here we go, starting Mixolydian, middle finger, 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a slide. Right, and now to the backing track. Everything we've learned so far, Lydian, into the Ionian, into Mixolydian, into Dorian. Here we go. 2, 3 and 4 E and slide. I would even hazard, after teaching this for a number of years, that part there, Mixolydian going into Dorian, is the hardest part of this exercise. If you get that down, the rest of it does feel quite easy. Right. After Dorian, let's go back to the tab. After Dorian, we have Aeolian. Some of you will know this as the natural minor scale. Okay, in Dorian, we had a natural 6. And as you see from the tab, in Aeolian, we have a flat 6 there. Okay, C natural. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So, I'm going to go up and down Dorian, playing the major 6th, C sharp, including the flat 7 there, and then on the repeat, we're going to then play the C natural for the flat 6. Right, here we go. The two together. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a Aeolian. stuff. Right, let's do the whole thing to the backing track. So Lydian, flatten the fourth, Ionian, flatten the seventh, Mixolydian, flatten the third to Dorian, flatten the sixth to Aeolian. 2, 3, and 4. Good stuff. We're most of the way there. That's 5 of the 7 modes. Let's look at the next one on the tab. The next one after Aeolian is Phrygian, one of my favorite modes. Okay, Phrygian has a flat 2. So all of the modes that so far have had an F sharp as our second or a major second. We're now going to flatten that to an F natural. Okay, complete the loop with that flat 7 there. But that F really does add a nice Spanish touch, our flat 2. Right, so Aeolian, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1. Flatten the 2, 1 E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1. And now without a pause between them, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Right, let's have a quick, as we're getting through most of them, let's have a quick chat about the metronome, because as I mentioned earlier, the backing track does feel quite fast if you've not played these modes before. It's certainly faster than last week's 7/4 backing track. But that doesn't need to be a problem. We just need to use our metronome constructively, okay, to build up the speed. Now, what I'm doing in this exercise, and the purpose of this exercise is to be able to play all of the modes one after the other. But do understand that that is a fairly sort of extreme example and isn't necessarily something you're going to do in the real world. You're not going to have many tracks where you have to keep moving through the modes one after the other. It's just a great exercise to really learn them all. So we can use just one of the modes or a handful of the modes one at a time to build up our technique. So 72 BPM at 16th note. So I'm going to switch to a metronome now. Here's a metronome at 72. Hopefully you can hear that. 2, 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So let's take Lydian, okay. Now if that's too fast, that's absolutely fine. All we do is slow our metronome down. We're now not trying to work on joining them up. We're just purely getting the shapes under the fingers. I've slowed this down to 60. Listen to the difference. 2, 3, and 4 E and a. If that's too fast, that's also fine. Let's drop it down to 50. Right, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, I'll just count the 16th notes straight through that. Find the tempo, let's come back to YouTube. Find the tempo that works for you. Get comfortable with the new mode, whichever one it is, and build up the speed, okay, so that you can work your way through that mode consistently before you start joining them together. And see that as a separate task to the actual completing the exercise and playing them one after the other. Only when you're able to play them at 72 BPM should you then start thinking, okay, well, I'll be able to run all these straight through. Let's finish the actual exercise off. So we've done up to Phrygian with the flat 2. There's only one more to go, okay? And that is Locrian, a really dark sounding mode, the darkest of all of them. We've basically flattened every single note now. We flattened the 4th when we went from Lydian to Ionian, and we've gone through every other interval. The last one to flatten is the 5th, which we're now playing. correct term. Okay, and this is a half diminished mode. We've got a flat third and a diminished fifth. That gives us a diminished triad. When we add the rest of the notes in, we get a half diminished scale. Right, let's just loop that a couple of times. Okay, 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a one more time, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Good stuff. Right, let's join it to Phrygian. Okay, so we're going to play Phrygian with the flat 2, but a perfect fifth, and then flatten the fifth as well to play Locrian. One after the other. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. So this is Phrygian, then Locrian, flatten the fifth. Great. Let's put together just the minor modes first of all. So those are Dorian, into flatten the sixth, into Aeolian. This is just to recap really, because I realise I'm throwing a lot of intervals at you, a lot of terminology. Into Aeolian with the flat sixth, then flatten the second, Phrygian, and then flatten the fifth. There. For Locrian. Let's play those 4 modes one after the other. Dorian, Aeolian, Phrygian, Locrian. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Into Aeolian. Into Phrygian. And then into Locrian. My head, that's perfect fifth on the way down. Right, that is all 7 of the modes. Let's join them together to the backing track. Okay, again, this is a free download on our Bandcamp. 4 E.